Hi, guys. Welcome to episode number 59 of the For Animals for Earth show. If you're new around here, I'm Brandy Heidi Montague. I'm the founder of For Animals for Earth, where we spend time inspiring each other to do small things in our daily lives to make a difference for animals and the environment. So today's episode is all about what to do with an old t-shirt. It's 8 ideas to keep that t-shirt from ending up in the landfill. So I was thinking about this topic this week because we went to a fundraiser this weekend. And when we were checking in at registration, they were handing out a t shirt to every single person that registered. And I was looking around and just cringing, honestly, because I would assume about 10% of those people took that t shirt home and were excited to wear it and keep it in their wardrobe. And the other 90% probably tossed it into a bin to give to Goodwill, which we know from research that most likely means it's ending up in a landfill. And so I was thinking, like, there has just got to be a better way to do this. And I think a lot of it is on the front end. And I think I'll do a whole different episode about that. But once we have the t shirt in our possession, what do we do with it? And what about all of those old t shirts that are sitting in our closet that we either love, like the New Kids on the Block concert shirt from 1990, or the whatever. There's t-shirts in our closet that we love that we don't want to get rid of, right? And there's also t-shirts that maybe we don't love that much, but we don't want it to end up in the landfill. So I came up with 8 unique ideas for you. I'm going to run through those now. I think they all come with like a tutorial or a DIY of some sort. So all of those links are available in the show notes. That's at foranimalsforearth.com/podcast/59. All right, let's dive in and get started. So, idea number one is to dye the shirt to cover up any stains. So, let's say that you have a shirt that you really, really love, but there's stains on it. Either you spilled something on it, maybe the armpits are yellow. That's a whole nother story with natural deodorant, right? So, that's something we need to cover in the future as well. But let's assume you have stains on the shirt. You can actually dye it and create a new shirt. You can either soak it in a dye, or you can do some fun tie-dye styles by using, rubber bands and tie dye. I think most of us did that at some point in our lives. So the key to this is that we want to use natural dyes that are made from fruits and vegetables. And if you're interested in a conversation about what those are and why, I actually talked to Lindsay Biondo in her podcast episode about this, because she has a slow fashion clothing line that uses all natural dyes and organic fibers. And we talked about why that's important. That's in episode 46 if you want to listen to that. But I found a super easy tutorial for how to do it from HGTV. So I've linked to that in the show notes. So if that interests you, that is a super easy way to revive an old t-shirt and get some more use out of it. So that was number one. Number two is to repair holes. So a lot of times we get holes in our clothing and we don't really know what to do with it. And it ends up, moving out of our house because of that. But it really doesn't need to. I put in 2 tutorials. One is for repairing small holes. I mean, it's really simple. You just flip it inside out, sew it up with a needle and thread, and there you go. But what about big holes? That's a little tougher. And there's a technique called darning that you can do to kind of like it's almost like creating a thread patch over the hole. There's a really good tutorial for that from Clothes Doctor. So that's in the notes. And I was thinking that once you see it, it kind of creates like a thread patch. And so it might be, I don't know. I mean, everything works, right? But it could be a little odd if you have a t-shirt and you just have that one big patch. So I thought it could be a fun thing to just cut a couple more holes and add in those patches. And then now you have like a fully new styled shirt that looks like those patches were actually something that you purchased that way. So that's an idea for that. That was number two. Number three is to turn it into a cute tank top. So there is a lady on YouTube who goes by Fashion Wanderer who has so many amazing tutorials for how to turn a t-shirt into a cute tank top or yoga top, and they're all no sew. So she does it without sewing. I picked one to link to in the show notes, and that'll lead you to all of the others. The one I chose was what seemed to be like the most versatile and easy, and it's taking a t-shirt and turning it into a muscle tank. So if that sounds interesting to you, check that out. Number four is to turn it into a tote bag. So I found this with Martha Stewart. She had one of her crafters on staff had taken a I Love New York t-shirt and turned it into a tote bag. And I was thinking, wow, this is just such a perfect idea for that concert shirt that we really love, or that old t-shirt that we really love, but maybe it doesn't fit anymore, or maybe it just doesn't fit our style anymore. So you can turn it into a tote bag and it gets this like a whole new brand new life, right? This was a super simple tutorial, and yeah, I really think you could do it. So if that interests you, check out number four. The link is in the show notes to how to do that. Number five is a little different, or a lot different. It is to create no heat hair curlers from the t-shirt material. So what you do is you chop up the t-shirt into strips, and you use those strips to tie and curl up your hair, and then you sleep on it, or you dry it, and it creates these beautiful like flowing curls in your hair. And I used to do that as a kid with foam rollers. Do any of you remember using foam rollers and sleeping on them? And it's a nice way to naturally curl our hair without having to use the heat treatment and all of that on our hair all the time. So I was like, that's a really fun one to do. There's a lady who shares how to do that called Katie's Creations on YouTube. So I have a link to her video as well. Number six is to create fabric twist ties. So, we use those like metal and plastic twist ties on so many different things, and you can actually just use fabric instead. So you can cut strips out of the t-shirts, and then you use those for bundling and different things. So, for instance, in your garden, you could use it to tie plant stalks together. In your drawers, you can use it to organize cords, bundle cords together, or even behind the computer, behind the lamp where there's so much extra cord, you can use it to just bundle it together. Hanging Christmas ornaments is an idea. So I don't know what you use to hang Christmas ornaments. A lot of ours are on paper clips, but just little pieces of old t-shirt would be perfect. And then we're not losing and dropping the paper clips all the time. It can be used to connect like hole punched paper together to, try to just keep pages together, or create little journals, notebooks, things like that. Another idea is to use it in the suitcase zippers where they come together, because, we can't always use a suitcase lock anymore because of security. And so you can just slide this little t-shirt tie to tie your zippers together so they don't slide open while you fly. You could also put it on the end of a zipper for a jacket, so it makes it just easier to pull. Probably great for kids. So that's number six, fabric twist ties. Number seven, so there's two left. Number seven is to turn the old t-shirts into dog beds to donate to your local shelter. I've talked about this one before, but this is just something super easy to do. You cut it into the shape of a pillow or a bed. You do some cutting to create pieces that you can knot together, but it is so easy. There's a tutorial in the show notes, and you can donate them to your local shelter. So that's a great way to do that. And number eight is to create a rice heating pad. So I don't know what you use for like heat treatment in your house. I feel like we are using our rice heating pad like almost every day. I think we must just be pushing our bodies to the limit here in this household. Or in my case, I don't work out for 3 months and then I go to hot yoga and I can't move, that kind of situation. So, hot heating pads, rice pads that we can just pop in the microwave and they get all warm and steamy, and then you can put it on whatever hurts. Those are really nice to have. And making that out of an old t-shirt is a perfect idea because it's nice and soft and comfy. So that requires a little bit of sewing, but it's so easy. So that link is also in the show notes. So that's 8 ideas for you. Oh my goodness, there are hundreds of ideas out there of what you could do with your old t-shirt. If you have ideas, please comment with them, add them to the show notes. We would love to hear them. Again, show notes with the links are all at foranimalsforearth.com/podcast/59. That's it for today. Next week, come back and join me because I have an interview that I am so incredibly excited about, you guys. I am interviewing Hans, who is the president of Cayuga Collection. That is a group of luxury sustainable hotels that are just incredible. They're incredible. And he is going to come on the show and he's going to tell me all about what he does differently from the standard luxury hotel chain. And through that, we get to learn what we can look for when we're traveling to be more conscious travelers when we're booking our places to stay. So I am so excited for that conversation. That will be back in episode 60. So yeah, you can be back for that next week. All right. Thanks. I will talk to you soon. Bye.